FloridaMakes is a nonprofit umbrella organization that helps provide services and support for the network of regional manufacturers associations across the state of Florida. We have a lot of different resources. Chief among them is a platform called the Connex Florida platform that is an online database and connection platform, enables companies to highlight their capabilities, highlight their certifications and some of the resources that they have within their business, and then also enables them to connect to other manufacturers across the state, whether those would be potential suppliers or potential customers, and build their network, build their relationships locally as well as nationally. The Connex Florida platform and a lot of these capabilities were built because of the consistent disruptions that we have in the state of Florida in the form of hurricanes, in the form of other natural disasters. We at FloridaMakes conducted about 500 assessments across 300 manufacturers across the state, kind of identifying what were the key issues and challenges that manufacturers faced. The number one issue across the board was either access to their supply chain or access to their customers was disrupted. JBT Aerotech is a great example of a manufacturer based here in Central Florida who has a global presence. They also connect very closely to our emergency management community as well through some of their product lines. And I think they're a great example of some of the strength of manufacturing that we have here in Florida. Like many manufacturers and many businesses, JBT had a real problem because of the pandemic. Disruptions in the supply chain and especially the international shipping really created a crisis for them.
As I look at the last 5 years, we've been able to educate the rest of the business on how that works and the importance of planning, the importance of forecasting, and the importance of the supply chain. We've implemented a lot more dual sourcing, especially on fabrications, but also on some of what we would have considered in the past maybe not as critical components that all of a sudden become critical. So I would say from a supply chain perspective, that's been our biggest change.
We need to kind of have flexibility, and I would say if your manufacturing is flexible, then you can diversify it a lot easier. You can use some of the industry best practices on how to make your manufacturing much more flexible.
Another company that was significantly impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic was Aeron Corporation, a Melbourne-based manufacturer of ventilators.
The first instance that we knew we had a problem here in my company was we got an order from the state of California for hundreds of ventilators. And we're a small company. We are used to making 30 ventilators a month, and now we needed to make 30 ventilators a day.
So we then went back to the EDC and FloridaMakes to sit down and say, these are the components that we need, and we need them fast. So who can remanufacture them?
The company that really responded was JCON, a privately held engineering firm here in Melbourne. The one key component that we needed to have done, they were able, with all of their resources, to be able to basically copy that component.
We were very honored to be able to support Aeron and support a small manufacturer in the United States to be able to engage and provide the capability that the nation needed in their time of need and be able to deliver for the national stockpile and the national effort to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. Manufacturers are a really important foundation for our communities, but they're also a great resource for our emergency management community and our community leadership to be able to provide resources and support the activities of emergency managers and the growth and resilience of our communities. One of the things that we were really hoping to do through this project and hoping to do through this initiative is to be able to connect our emergency management community with our manufacturing community, to be able to help our emergency management community understand and engage with our manufacturers and vice versa, so that as we're building resilience for potential disruptions or disasters, or as we're building resources, we have an integrated connectivity between our manufacturers and our emergency management personnel, and that we're also able to meet local needs with local resources. And if we're going to be building manufacturing back in America, those are the types of relationships, those are the types of connections that are going to need to happen.